If trying harder was going to fix this, it would have been fixed by now. And if discipline was the missing piece, you would have already handled it. If shame worked, well, you would be healed. So what if, and hear me out, what if the real issue isn't that you lack control? What if the real issue is that you've been solving the wrong problem this whole time? And I know that because I did it for almost 3 decades. If you're new here, hi, my name's Alicia, and I have lived with trichotillomania and trichophagia for almost 30 years. I didn't study it from a textbook. I didn't read about it in theory. I have lived it, okay? And for most of my life, I thought the problem was my hands, my idle hands, right? Or I thought it could be my discipline, my stress tolerance, or even my willpower. And it never occurred to me that the problem wasn't my behavior. Okay? It was what my body was trying to manage. See, here's what most of us do. We hyper focus on the behavior. We tell ourselves, let things like stop pulling, stop picking, stop reaching, stop spiraling. Oh, and my favorite, stop being so sensitive. We treat the invisible symptom like it's the root issue. But behavior, okay, is rarely the root. Behavior is actually a strategy. Think about that for a second. Your body is not randomly sabotaging you. It's not betraying you. It's not against you. And darling, it's certainly not weak, okay? It's solving something. So then the question happens to be, what? When I pulled, it felt like relief, okay? Not long-term relief, but immediate relief. And am I 100% free? No. It pops up time to time, the urges, right? But what I do know is that in the moment, that pull, it's a tiny exhale. It feels like grounding, a distraction, a control mechanism. Yeah, I'm a bit of a control freak, right? And instead of asking what my body was trying to regulate in the moment, I asked things like, why can't I just stop? What's wrong with me? And let me tell you, that was the wrong questions. So let's simplify this without getting all clinical, shall we? Need a little drink. All right, your body has one primary job, just one, to keep you safe. Not successful, not polished, not impressive, just safe. And when your nervous system perceives stress, whether it's emotional stress, performance pressure, overstimulation, unresolved shame, conflict, exhaustion, it shifts into protection mode. Protection mode doesn't ask for permission. It simply acts. Sometimes that looks like pulling, picking, snapping at people you love, shutting down, overthinking, numbing out, overreacting, doom scrolling. Does that any of those sound familiar? Probably. Because your brain is trying to regulate intensity, okay? The problem is not that you lack discipline. The problem is that your system is dysregulated, okay? And you've been trying to out-hustle it. And you cannot discipline your way out of a dysregulated nervous system. You can try to white-knuckle it temporarily. You could shame yourself into short bursts of control. You can stack productivity on top of panic. But do you know what eventually happens? Your body wins. Yeah. Because survival always wins. And when I finally realized that, oh, everything shifted. Okay? For years, I simply thought that I sucked. Thought I sucked at the whole healing thing. I thought that, especially into the second decade, I thought I should have been able to control it by then. I would ask things, why am I like this? Other people don't struggle like this. Why me? And that belief kept me solving the wrong problem over and over. I kept trying to become more disciplined, more rigid, more structured. I found myself to kind of go to the extremes. And every single time I collapsed, I felt even more broken. So the real shift came when I stopped asking, how do I stop this? When I started asking, what does my body actually need right now? What is my body trying to communicate? Those questions, that's leadership. Those questions are self-trust. Those questions built capacity. Because when your body feels supported, the behavior doesn't need to scream so loud. Now here's the part I wish someone had told me much sooner. All right. External tools are very powerful. Okay. Mindset work, absolutely necessary. Boundaries, completely, oh my gosh, you need them. Okay. But if your internal state is constantly overwhelmed, you're building on shaky ground, my friend. All right. I spent years doing mindset work. In fact, I did about 8 years, and it was very helpful. All right. But it wasn't until I started supporting my body internally from a regulation standpoint, that's when the change felt sustainable. It wasn't forced. It wasn't performative. And you want to know what was really awesome? It wasn't temporary. It was support. And when you feel supported internally, oh, you don't fight yourself as much. You don't panic as much. You certainly don't spiral as often as you used to. And you don't need the behavioral as intensely. Okay? So that doesn't mean perfection. What it simply means is capacity. And if you've been trying harder and it's not working, okay, that's not a you problem, all right? I want you to consider that you might not be weak. I know. you might just be unsupported. And that is a very, very, very different type of story, okay? You don't need more shame. You don't need more force. You don't need to become somebody you're not. You might just need to solve the right problem. So, if this resonated, I want you to stay here for a moment, okay? Because this is the level that I operate from. This is the level that we teach, right? It's not surface and it's not symptom. We are going for the root. All right. Now, if anything, I hope that you stick around. I'll see you on the next video.